Let's go, BU! Let's go, BU!
What up, Bulldog fans? Welcome to the final episode of Season 1 of the Bulldog Blitz. I'm your host, Corey Stark. In this week's episode, we will recap the biggest games from the week, plus we'll catch up with women's basketball coach Beth Couture to get her take on her team's season so far. But first, we'll start things off with some soccer action. Finishing their season with the best overall record in school history and an undefeated record in Horizon League regular season play, the men's soccer team had a great opportunity to win the Horizon League tournament. Unfortunately for the Bulldogs, the Cleveland State Vikings had something to say about that. The third-seeded Vikings scored in the 89th minute to knock off Butler 1-0, ending their season. The 25th-ranked Bulldogs finished the season with a 13-3-4 record and was the first team in 5 years to have an undefeated record in Horizon League play. For those who were unable to see the Bulldogs in their exhibition games over the last few weeks, you missed out on some high-flying plays. Don't worry, the Blitz has got you covered. Sit back and enjoy. The Butler men's basketball team took care of business in Game 1 of the season with a 58-48 win over Drake. The Bulldogs took the hardwood for Game 2 against Ball State this week. Blitz's Doug Fredbeck has the game recap.
The Bulldogs' home opener drew over 5,000 fans Wednesday night to see Butler host Ball State. The Dogs got down early, but a 24-6 run in the first half got the team back in the game and gave the Bulldogs a 2-point lead at halftime, 31-29. A 9-0 run to start the second half, along with energetic team defense, sealed the victory for the Dogs, who improved to 2-0 on the season with a 64-55 win over the in-state rival Cardinals. Sophomore Matt Howard led the way for the Bulldogs, scoring 15 points and grabbing 6 rebounds. Freshman forward Gary Butcher came off the bench and was perfect from the floor, going 3 for 3 from behind the arc. Bulldog reserves contributed 21 points, while the Cardinals bench had only 2. Butler also took advantage of Ball State's 16 turnovers, converting them into 18 points. Coach Stevens was pleased with his young team's performance.
I've been happy with most of our team most of the year. I think there's a lot of room for improvement. It's exciting because there's a lot of room for improvement. And I think we'll get better. I think we'll do things with a little bit more authority. I think we'll just be a little bit better. And I hope so every time we take the floor. I thought tonight we can take a lot of lessons from tonight.
When we come back, we'll talk with women's basketball coach Beth Couture, plus we'll review more of last week's games. Stay right here on the Bulldog Blitz. On Friday, the women's team played their first game of the 2008-2009 season against the 18th-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. The team played some stingy defense throughout the first half, holding Ohio State to just 31% shooting and only trailed by 4 points heading into the locker room. The Buckeyes stepped it up in the second half, shooting 50% from the floor, and went on to beat the Bulldogs 75-56. Junior Melanie Thornton led the team with a career-high 18 points and 7 steals. Coming off that 19-point loss to Ohio State and an early week game against IPFW, the women's basketball team is now preparing for their third game of the week against Dayton. We talked to Coach Beth Couture to get her take on the season so far.
Coach, third game of the season. You got to look at your team again on a big stage against Ohio State. Talk a little bit about playing on that big stage in a Big Ten school.
Well, for us, it was a great thing for our program, because for the first time, Corey, I felt like we went into that stage with 4,000 people, you know, big time atmosphere, and really weren't intimidated. You know, we held our own, and, you know, we ended up getting beat by double digits, but if you were at the game, you know, it was 4 points at halftime, and we battled, you know, and I asked our kids, I said, my goal is we compete. And we just competed, and I think they knew that. And I think if you gave a check for effort, we would have won that. So, you know, I think it just can help us grow and know what we can do when we get in there and just all play together as we did. And we used a lot of players, and they all came in and did a good job. So, you know, we just feel like it has to help us.
IPFW is always a tough place to play, and your team was able to rebound from that loss and get a big win there. Talk a little bit about that game.
Yeah, we struggled offensively in the first half. You know, I mean, I felt like defensively held them to 19 points. We were trying to keep them from, you know, getting threes off, because that's when they're really good. And we did. We did a great job. So we gave up some easy buckets in doing that, but that was our game plan. But, you know, we were 0 for 6 from the 3 again. Our posts were doing well, but we weren't knocking down shots. So kind of the second half came, first 3 or 4 minutes the same. Then all of a sudden, you know, we have Susan hit a 3, Bree hit a 3. Our freshman Devin came in and hit 2 threes. So that just opened everything up, as well as our post play. So I felt like, you know, we played 4 halves now. You know, offensively, even though we played hard at Ohio State, we weren't knocking down shots. So I felt like we've had one good half of offense. You know, and in the second half of IPFW, we only had 2 turnovers. So it gave us a lot of opportunities.
On Friday, the volleyball team took on the Wright State Raiders for their final game of the regular season. It was senior night at Hinkle Fieldhouse, honoring the 3 seniors, Dana Daprilli, Chloe Blasingame, and Nina Inich. The match was a perfect example of why you play every single point. Butler up 2 sets to 0 and having 2 match points couldn't close the door against Wright State and lost 2 sets to 3. The Bulldogs finished the regular season with an 8-8 record in Horizon League play and 18-10 overall. The team will enter league tournament play on Friday as the 5th seed against 4th-seeded Loyola. The team has lost to the Ramblers twice this season. The Butler football team went out west to face San Diego in an important conference matchup. The Bulldogs, who started Pioneer League play with 4 wins, have lost their last 2. It didn't look good from the start against San Diego, as early in the second quarter, having a 14-0 deficit. The Bulldogs would fight back in the quarter to bring the game back within 4 points, but in the end, it was too much of the Toreros' attack. San Diego wins 31-17. Bulldogs fall to 6-4 overall and 4-3 in Pioneer League play. They play their last game of the season on Saturday against Davidson. Over the Thanksgiving break, there will be some great opportunities for you to watch the Bulldogs at home. The women's basketball team will play Dayton on Friday night. Then the team will head to Albuquerque in the University of New Mexico tournament. There they will face the likes of New Mexico, Nebraska, and William and Mary. On the other side, the men's basketball team will have an action-packed holiday, all in the friendly confines of Hinkle Fieldhouse. Saturday, the team takes on IU South Bend at 2 o'clock. Then on Wednesday, November 26th, they will face Big Ten opponent Northwestern. And wrapping up the week, they will play Evansville on Saturday, November 29th. Also, we want to wish the best of luck to the volleyball and cross-country teams who start postseason play this week. That does it for the first season of the Blitz. Thank you to everyone who tuned in, and join us again in the new year. Remember, you can watch all your favorite Butler sports stories on our YouTube channel, and Comcast viewers, you can watch us on Comcast On Demand. Also, for those who are unable to make it to Hinkle Fieldhouse for Butler men's and women's basketball home games, you can see some of your favorite Blitz personalities on the new halftime show aired on HorizonLeagueNetwork.tv. From all of us here at the Blitz, it's been fun. I'm Corey Stark.
And I'm your new host for next season, Mark Minner. Corey, great job this year, but I tell you what, we got some exciting things happening next season right here on the Bulldog Blitz. You're going to want to come back.